Oh, crap.
Welcome to Film Speak. Here for another great episode. Today we have Matt Parmenter and Elbert Smith from Witch Doctor Films coming and joining us. We're going to talk about what they've been up to, and they've been up to a lot. Okay, the Witch Doctor Films has a great catalog of movies. Get on the internet, find out. You want to see Children of the Way, you want to see the Rook movies, you want to see Modesto, you want to see Neighbor, the Lucho movie. I mean, these guys are very active locally, and give your support. If you see them at Horror Hound, walk up to Witch Doctor Films. These guys are just fantastic. And then after we get done talking about what they've been up to, we're going to talk about, well, Captain America Civil War, but I have a feeling we're probably going to rip into all the superhero movies because it's like a Pringles, you can't talk about one without popping into the other one. So stay tuned. Got some great discussions coming up.
Get ready for high-octane adventure.
Oh, well, look at what we got here,
Yeah.
boys. The hell's Pussycat. Woohoo! Yeah, take a pull my hair. I gotta go check these ladies out. You girls lost? And I'll take good care of you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Woo! Oh, yeah. Hey, Sugar, why don't you get over here and fix me a sandwich?
I'm gonna fix you a banana split.
Looks like she's got 2 scoops, all right.
And I'm gonna put a big banana between those 2 scoops.
Oh,
And on top, whipped cream.
oh, baby, that sounds real good.
Oops, I forgot. How do you like your nuts?
What? Oh! Oh!
We can play nice or not so nice.
Introducing Chris Stiles as Gertrude Jackson, leader of the Black SS.
You think you can handle this, Philly cowboy?
It takes more than just one man to satisfy my needs.
Never before has the silver screen revealed so much unbridled passion. Her lust for power is only matched by her sexual depravity.
Baby, you can't handle this shit. Bobby, sweet, you've always been my #1 man. We're gonna be getting into some trouble. Can I count on you?
Oh, I'm in, baby.
So the Black SS think they're moving in on our turf. We gotta show them who the real badass bitches in this town is. It's over, Trudy.
We're gonna protect our women.
The Third Reich shall rise again, you bitch!
These badass bitches know the score. And you will too when you watch Hell's Pussycats. That's right, Hell's Pussycats.
You may hate me now, my dear, but that won't always be the case. When you're driven to the point of utter madness, when you ascend, I'll be all that you think about.
Please, sir, can you help us find our Alice? We don't have anyone else to turn to.
So we're really on our own? No police or anyone to help us? Aren't you afraid to go into the town?
Clistia. Clistia. Clistia.
And away we go.
There you go.
Here we are with another episode of Film Speak. I'm here with two guys who have had on the show a few times.
My third time?
This is your third time?
Second.
Second? That classifies. That's like 5 total.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes you Film Speak veterans.
There you go.
Thanks very much for coming back on.
Thanks for having us.
I hope a lot has been up for Witch Doctor.
Oh, gosh. So much stuff, so much stuff. Gosh, where do we begin? There's the new issue of our comic, which we're debuting this week. El Toro's old monster movie, A Go-Go. It's a I'm the writer of the book, and Elbert does the pencils. And on that particular issue, John Larder did the inks, and then I came back and colored it, and Elbert did lettering.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a big passion project.
Yes, it is a big passion project.
It started out as just something as a let's do like a 4-page comic or something just to promote our movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, well, now we have a comic series.
Well, before you guys came, I was telling my daughter about your Lucho movies.
Oh yeah, we did one film which was called Neighbor, which was
that
was a Lucha. It starred Sig Maley, a longtime friend of mine, a great actor too, stage actor and all. He plays a luchador wrestler who gets disgraced in Mexico and moves to the Midwest and becomes a late-night movie host. And something in like a luchador exploitation film happens, and then he has to solve it. So it's real fun. And we also do a thing where we host films where Sig and myself are wrestlers. I'm El Diablo Blanco, the White Devil. and that's real fun. We have a great time with that.
Yeah. So far we've done Plan 9 from Outer Space and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Nice.
And we're thinking about doing that, what's that Western about the little people, the midgets.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of that one, but it's a Western starring midgets.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Little Town or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
It was from the late '60s, wasn't it?
No, this was from like the 30s, I think.
Oh, okay.
30s or 40s. Yeah.
If there's any little people out there that would like to be in it, please contact us. We'd love to have you.
Well, I don't mind acting for my knees. So, if you want somebody to do a little Tim Conway Dorf, I could be all about that.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's not we're not against that. Yeah, I'm always game for some kind of craziness.
Well, something I've always loved with your guys' filmmaking is it's like this mix of exploitation movies, classic sci-fi and horror, and 70s TV. You know, because I always catch hints of old Doctor Who in your guys' work, Kolchak the Night Stalker, yeah, the movies like Switchblade Sister, you know, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, or even like Coffee and stuff like that. It just, you know, and it's just this great mixed bag of influences that a lot of people, filmmakers and stuff and media today don't recognize. I mean, Quentin Tarantino, sure. You know, you get a bunch of exploitation in his movies, but there's not enough people, I don't think, that give a salute to that classic genre.
I think it's definitely a niche market that we do, and I don't mind. You know, I guess eventually we'll do some different things.
Yeah.
But I was, you know, like you were saying with Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, we were lucky to have Tara Holman. And I saw a picture of Tora Satana, who is the lead in Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, who's just awesome, just awesome lady.
A few years ago, Quentin Tarantino had talked about remaking that.
Well, he should look for Tara Holman, who is.
I think his idea at the time, he was going to use Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, and another one of the, you know, those party group girls, and put them.
Yeah. But when I saw a picture of Tora Satana flipping somebody, and I was like, man, that looks exactly like Tara. And we got her to do a thing called Hell's Pussycats, which is a tribute to it. Anybody goes on our website, they can find Hell's Pussycats.
Dig it.
It's really fun. A lot of people ask me about that one, and that and Black Justice people go, when are you going to do the film? And they'll go, when are you going to do the film of Hell's Pussycats? And it's like, well, give us time. We'll eventually get to it.
Total Russ Meyer salute.
Oh, love Russ Meyer. I got to watch him on. There was a show in the '90s on USA, and they interviewed him. It was really cool to actually see Russ Meyer.
See, I got turned on to Russ Meyer through Night Flight.
Yeah.
Back in the early '80s, before it became USA Up All Night.
Yeah.
And you know, because they'd show Reefer Madness, the Russ Meyer films, the Fireside Theater stuff.
I think the thing with our films, as well, is, you know, we want to salute the guys that came before us and what we really admire, but at the same time, I think we have one foot in the past, one foot in the future. Because I don't think anybody wants to get kind of, you know, stagnant or just get caught up in one thing. So when you watch one of our movies, there is that exploitation aspect to it, but there's also there's a narrative, there's people you can care about. I mean, not to say that there wasn't in those films, but, you know, there's emotion there as well.
And a little bit of modern context, too, you know, as they're taken from the past.
Yeah, a lot of those films, although they're, you know, people can do those type of films, but they're kind of novelty type things. We're actually trying to move forward as well.
Now, I haven't gotten to see Children of the Way yet, but I love Modesto.
Children of the Way, I think you helped us out with some of the blood work on that.
Blood work on one of them.
Yeah, and Children of the Way is our latest film, and it is kind of like what's that movie, The Wicker Man?
Yeah.
The original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee.
The one that doesn't suck.
Yeah, not Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
And it's a continuation journey of our character Anton Rook, but it's a movie unto itself, kind of like the Billy Jack films.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch one to get the other. And Children of the Way, this young girl, she goes missing, and the parents hire Anton Rook to go out and look for her, and she's been taken by this like Charles Manson type group. They worship this creature called Clistu.
In which Randy Bell.
Yeah, he plays the head guy, Afghan.
Freaking awesome actor, and just a great guy.
You'll also be amazed if you watch this film and you watch it and you go, did Randy act before? And like, this is his first time doing it. And you know, I was saying earlier before we were on camera that we were looking for somebody to play the cult leader, and I remember watching Randy do some poetry. It was regarding Hammer horror. We both like Hammer horror, and I was like, "What about Randy?" And we had him come in, and he's just a natural, talented actor.
Well, I got to work with him on the zombie movie you guys were shooting.
Yeah,
which, you know, I spent more time working with him there than I did on Children of the Way, and that's when I really got to know him and watch him work and everything, and just what a great guy. And I also have to note that I noticed you compared the Rook series to the Billy Jack series, and I know for a fact that Jim will have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Jim loves.
We had on our website. We've got an article written by Jim McClure about Billy Jack, if anybody would like to go there and read that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I've had many discussions with him about the Billy Jack movies.
Well, I love Billy Jack, and the last few years I got to see Born Losers, which is just
great,
awesome. That's just awesome.
Those are the only two. The other two Billy Jack movies they were okay, but they weren't.
They seemed indulgent.
Yeah. So. They weren't at the height that Born Losers and Billy Jack was.
Definitely.
Yeah. But we also have, like you were saying, Modesto. That was our movie we did a couple years ago. And Hope Springs was a short film that we did recently, about the same time we did Children of the Way. It's more of a psychological, sexual thing. Young boy, he comes back home to check out different colleges in the area, and he stays as a lodger with this family, and they're really into more things than he wants to be into, as you can tell from the cover.
Yeah.
And we filmed that with actually our Anton Rook. That's Jim on the cover, and Jim has a great way of just transforming. He's a great actor. I've known Jim for years, and
same here.
Jim just can lose himself in the different roles and stuff. So
well, I got lucky enough to work with him. My first short film I did, Early Patrons, which I remade because the original was shot with DATV equipment, so I couldn't make money off of it. And so I recast and reshot it later on. But Jim's performance in the Early Patrons was just riveting.
He practices. Sometimes you get these actors that are doing so many different things at one time, and they'll run in. It's like there's a lot of talented people, but you gotta practice.
Do the homework.
You gotta do the homework.
I like to make a character my own. I do my best to. Well, I try to know my lines, but more importantly than knowing my lines, I try to know my character.
Another one of our actors, Sig Maley. What I was mentioned earlier, Sig. He was in Anti-Zombie Force, and he was getting ready for his character, and I saw him walk off, and he was talking to himself, and he was doing expressions and such, and it was just really neat to watch him do that.
Well, on that film, the hardest thing that I had to do character-wise was face first in the pig guts.
Oh yeah.
How bad was that smell?
110-degree weather.
Oh, that was just. I have it right here, and I'm doing my best not to breathe, but I hope it looked good.
I think it did.
It
It looked really good.
And I myself, I had a blast with Anti-Zombie Force. Basically, for everybody, Anti-Zombie Force is we've got some fake trailers before that you can watch on our website, but it's we had some people that were willing to play zombies, and we weren't going to do anything with zombies, but then I've got a guy who can get us our weapons and such, and I was like, what can I do? A-Team meets Nine Living Dead. So we did that.
I can totally see that now. Yeah.
We did a couple of fake trailers. We did a radio play, and now, last year we did the full feature film. I'm in the middle of editing it right now, so it's turning out really good.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Oh, it was that that was one of the most fun films to do. Just the cast was just so, or the ensemble, and I mean, be prepared. Ralph Hicks just steals the movie.
Oh, really?
He is. I don't know if you know Ralph. Do you remember Ralph there, the blonde-haired guy?
Yeah.
He's just so great. It's like Wolverine in the comic books when Wolverine was cool. Sorry, folks, but you know. But yeah, he's really cool.
Well, you know, you had some of my favorite people. Randy Bell, we mentioned. Cruzy.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, we love
really good.
Brian.
Brian's a good guy.
We like to have Brian in almost everything.
We really pushed our boundaries with this one, the Zombie Force film. There's torture. There's everything you can imagine in this film.
Yeah.
And
I can't wait to see it. Now, before we wrap up this segment, we move on to talking about Captain America,
Okay.
and I'm sure we'll get stuck on a tangent talking about all the superhero movies.
Sure.
I mean, you can't. It's just like popping a Pringles chip. Once you start, you just can't stop. But tell everybody where we can find all your movies, where people can call and order these.
Okay. You can contact us on our website or on Facebook. We're Witch Doctor Films. You can do a search for us, and you can find our website and our Facebook. Just contact us if you're interested in the film. They're only $10 each. Probably be about $3 for shipping.
And these guys are great filmmakers. You'd be supporting local independent film in the area. Keep these guys working so they can keep making more films, please, because I love what you guys do. I'm always excited. Not just hold on. Let me also say, not just you guys as great writers and filmmakers, but Matt is an artist that will just freaking blow you away. If you want art based on pop culture, look him up on Facebook, find stuff that you like, and then pay him to get it. Awesome.
I work for, we both work for Unstoppable Cards in the UK, and I work for Upper Deck. I've done Avengers, Ant-Man, Firefly,
Doctor Who.
Yeah, I've done Doctor Who for I got to work on David Bowie, Man Who Fell to Earth. That's just
freaking awesome. Yeah, your Man Who Fell to Earth drawings are just incredible.
That was, I mean, I had to audition for that, but I was like, I found out they were doing it, and I'm going to do this set. They're doing a Hammer horror, and it's like I'm trying to get a hold of them too.
I've turned one of my kids, Ryan. He's actually the one behind that camera there. I turned him on to some Hammer films.
Oh, they're just the best. Yeah. We're going to expand and go out to Pittsburgh, and we're going to be at the Monster Bash.
You're going to be at Monster Bash.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys are always at Horror Hound locally.
Yes.
So look for these guys, Witch Doctor Films, okay? Just Google Witch Doctor Films. It'll lead you to everywhere that you need to be able to find. Great films, great fun. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Stick around. We're going to talk about some movies. I'll be right back.
A journey into terror leaves one man on a mission.
Hey, baby. You got me and the boys all worked up.
Now, I know what you're thinking of doing. And I'm telling you now, don't.
Marcus Jackson stars as Rydell Sampson in Modesto. Modesto, a town who will know vengeance when one man is pushed to the limit.
Welcome back. We're sitting here with Matt and Elbert. We're going to be talking about, Captain America Civil War. And I'm wearing Spider-Man, so you know.
Yeah, Godzilla. So.
But you know, I'm sure that we're going to get into the whole range of the genre of superhero films. But let's start with Captain America. What did you guys think of Civil War?
Well, it was very enjoyable. One of the best things with the Marvel stuff, established everything a long time ago. So you can go straight into telling the story. And was it the Wachowski brothers? Or who
No.
The Russo brothers.
Russo brothers.
And it's the Wachowski sisters.
Sisters.
Now.
Yes. Well, anyway, they did Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And that just carried over very well into this.
Which I loved Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That reminded me very much of a mix of like half superhero movie and then half spy flick, like 3 Days of the Condor from the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, like 70s Cold War era type spy flick.
They wanted to extend that within Captain America Civil War as well. Like they were thinking of the Winter Soldier would be like a 70s flick. The Civil War would be like an 80s spy flick. And I think the great thing about Civil War is that it's especially with a lot of the Marvel films is timing. I think timing is really important in filmmaking. You know, you have to have the happy times. You have to have the sad times. You have to have the laughter to bring somebody into a serious moment. Because if everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, and then everybody quiets down, they're wanting to reach closer in the seat and like, what are they going to talk about next? And go ahead.
I was just going to say I found with Civil War that Black Widow and Black Panther were kind of the logical and emotional heart of the film. Because they were the ones who were dealing and gripping with the most of, is it the right thing? Am I going the right way? You know, and they start off both feeling one way, and through their character's story arc feel a different way by the end of the movie. And I found they had the most growth, because you know really the whole plot of Civil War could have been summed up in 10 minutes if all the characters just sat down and talked.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. The villain, and spoil, but
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. He relies on them as their disadvantage of not trusting each other, and circumstance. Now, not to say that that's bad or anything, but you know, it's like, well, if Iron Man doesn't go to this place, then you know there's not going to be that fight, and if this, but you know, he's relying on them to not trust each other.
Well, it still made it believable.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what a great character Black Panther is, because you know it harkens back. It reminds me of the black exploitation films because, you know, with Black Panther you have like a black man that is not subservient to any kind of white dude or anything like that. You know, I mean, Falcon, you got Falcon, but he's Cap's sidekick and stuff like that. But with Black Panther, you've really got like, he's got his own jet, he's got his own base in Wakanda. You know, he's his own man outright. You know, and that's something I think a lot of people can look up to as well.
Well, especially like he's a hero that was originally written in what, 66, 67?
Something like that. I think he first appeared in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And Stan Lee had they'd picked the name Black Panther without knowing about the group in Los Angeles. You know, they were picked independently of each other. But yeah, with the whole rise of Marvel superheroes, Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think the first Avengers, the first Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Winter Soldier and Civil War are just, doesn't matter if they're superhero movies, they are just great movies.
Yeah. I mean, look at Civil War compared to Batman versus Superman. You know, last year I was like, man, is Captain America really going to make any money over Batman versus Superman? And then it all just totally flipped.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that, you know, with the DC films, it's like there's no emotion, there's no character, no narrative to hang on to.
It's because they have that bitch Zack Snyder freaking behind it all. I used to be a Zack Snyder fan.
Yeah.
So,
300,
300,
loved Watchmen.
Yeah.
And then I read an interview with him where he said that he did Watchmen to save it from the Terry Gilliams of the world. And after that, I was like, fuck Zack Snyder. Fuck him all the hell. You hear that? I hope you watch this, Zack Snyder. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of sidebar there. He pisses me off.
Well,
he makes, you know,
they look great.
He makes a great looking piece on film, but there's no character development. There's nobody I want to care for.
No emotional connection whatsoever.
I mean, Superman's one of my favorite heroes, and it's like I don't even care about him in that movie or the movie he did before. It's like, please kill him off. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Christopher Reeve or George Reeve or anything like that, or Dean Cain or anything, but when he dies, I'm relieved that this guy who hates having all these superpowers of a god dies. It's like, good riddance, go away.
I think it would be neat to take Superman back, at least in the films, right? Yeah. And to pull him back a little bit and make him more like the original Superman, who couldn't fly. He could just jump really, really far, was really, really strong, and really, really fast running. No freaking heat vision, none of this other bullshit that they gave him.
Well, I think with Captain America Civil War, I think the Russo brothers did a good Superman with Captain America. It's like you have this good guy who wants to do the right thing, and you have all these other people around him that have their own agendas. Yeah. And I think that's how the DC should look at Superman. It's like, make him the stoic, good guy, Boy Scout, and then have the world around him affect him that way.
And it's a good comparison too, Civil War to Batman versus Superman, because they both dealt with the same issue. They both had the same subtext, the abuse and overuse of power, and should there be any constrictions to it. They kind of both touched on that, and Civil War did it right.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Civil War was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I mean,
my favorite Spider-Man today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was only on screen for 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Looked like John Romita's Spider-Man, I think. Yeah.
Well, it's the first time that they actually got a teenager to play Spider-Man, not some guy in his mid-20s.
Watching the eyes move and such was for his vision.
I like that they're not going to do an origin story for Spider-Man. They're like, you fucking know it. Yeah. We're just going to go right into it.
Yeah.
And then Michael Keaton's going to be the big bad in that film coming up.
Possibly.
Yeah. That'll be really cool.
And Iron Man's also going to be in it.
Yeah.
It's going to be. And I'm excited for Ragnarok, the new Thor film.
Yeah, that looks like it should be fun. I haven't seen what that director's done, but I've seen trailers and stuff, and he's really out there. And I think that's what these movies need, is people who are really like on the edge, that know when to pull back, know when not to pull back.
Like I can't remember his name right now. I just had a brain fart. But the guy did Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, yeah, because District 9, great movie.
He started with Troma, didn't he? I think.
No, he started with District 9. He had done District 9 as a short film, as a 10-minute short film.
Oh, okay.
And Peter Jackson liked it and scooped him up to do the Halo movie, and then the Halo movie fell through, and that's why they did the full-length feature version of District 9. Okay. That just started off as a short film about, even though it's about aliens, it's about racism and apartheid in South Africa.
Yeah.
And a great film. And what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't me, God. I hope that was not one of my kids who just busted the alarm.
No, we're all in here.
We're all in here? Okay. Fuck them.
There you go.
You know what? I tell you what. Juju Crow.
There you go.
That sounds good.
I'm going to do an original tune for you. This song is called Motive. Say goodbye to reason, 'cause it just went out the door. Say goodbye to happiness, 'cause it won't be here no more. Paralyzed by darkness, why are we unsure? And why are we at our best when we've got nothing left? Find your way and leave me lying, broken, sad, and blue. Night hides pain completely, plus it hides a tear or two. Where is it I'm going? And are you scared to see? There's no way of knowing. Time ticks by, never slowing. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. Mama, I'm so sorry, but it's my time to go. Promise you won't worry, 'cause I'll be coming home.
Times when you get something that is of a golden age.
Yeah.
And we're getting those with some of these Marvel films right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same way with Doctor Who. It was like, well, I grew up on Doctor Who, I think just like you did.
Yeah.
And, you went through the dry spell of the 15 years there was no Doctor Who, and these people whine and complain about Doctor Who. It's like, dude, we didn't, just be happy that it's there and we got it,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about the comic book movies too. It's like, hey, but I love the old comic films as well. Like I love the Red Brown Captain America. I love that stuff. Or
Roger Corman, Fantastic Four.
Oh, I love that movie. Let's talk about that for a minute. I think that movie's 10 times better than what Josh Trank did with the new Fantastic Four.
You didn't have to work very hard to make a better movie.
I mean,
I could have sat there in my bathtub with Fantastic Four action figures and probably have made a better film.
Well, I'll never see that film.
Everything doesn't have to be dark and gritty. I don't think these people. I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, there's nothing wrong with showing color and pop.
Well, to flip that though, the Netflix Marvel TV series, Daredevil and Jessica Jones, dark and gritty.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love it.
Oh yeah.
Daredevil season 2, my favorite Punisher to date.
Oh yeah.
Thomas Jane was good. I thought Thomas Jane was the top of the Punisher that we're going to get.
Yeah. What's his name?
Talking about the original one,
No,
Dolph
the new one, not Dolph Lundgren, the new guy.
The guy
John
from Walking Dead.
Bernthal.
Yeah.
I met him when we did Horror Hound, and I was like, man, you are the Punisher. It's straight up like Travis Binkle, the taxi driver.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese stuff. You should win awards for that.
The second season, just so well filmed, and I love the dark and grittiness. It so makes up for the feeling of being just raped in the ass that the original Daredevil gave me.
Yeah, the first Daredevil.
Yeah, the TV show is so multi-layered, and at times you're rooting for Daredevil, at times you're rooting for Kingpin.
Yeah.
And Vincent D'Onofrio is so good as the Kingpin.
Such an incredible actor.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, I'm sure you guys remember too, the Incredible Hulk movie that had Daredevil and Kingpin in it.
Yeah.
The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. I like that, but I mean, it's nowhere this.
Yeah.
But
I will say one nice thing about DC property, the TV stuff. I faithfully every single week watch The Flash and love that show.
Flash and the Arrow.
Yeah.
Love them both.
Yeah.
I've lost my TV, so I didn't get to see the second half of those seasons
right.
this year, and I didn't get to see the
The Flash was
the crossover show.
Oh well.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I only watched one episode, but I hear really good things about that. They even had Jonah Hex in it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And whenever I watch Supergirl, I enjoy it.
I was watching the first part of that before I lost TV too.
And they've got Martian Manhunter in it, which he looks great. He was fighting a white Martian in it.
Why can't the people behind the DC TV shows have an effect on making the movies better?
You could say the same thing about the animated guys. Why can't Bruce Timm and the writer Paul Dini have some kind of influence on the films?
Well, speaking of DC TV shows, I don't know if they're still planning this, but I'd read that they were. But DC is talking about bringing the Frank Miller series Rowan to TV.
God, I never heard of that.
Really?
And I know this. I read the book. But
read the book. Yeah,
but,
I heard that they were going to bring that to television, and if they did that right, and they could fuck it up really easy.
Well, yeah.
But if done right, with the whole tying in the flashbacks to feudal Japan to a dystopic.
Well, one thing with
the
DC superheroes, they're going to be on like 4 nights a week or something.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a 4-night crossover. Like, I never even began to think that there would be like...
That's just freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's just amazing to have.
Well, it's like the
something
70s,
like
you know, when you would have Happy Days, and then Laverne and Shirley would be on, and then Mork and Mindy, and then Joni Loves Chachi, and they're all jumping from show to show.
And they're talking JSA. We got Our Man on the... And I was like, I can't even imagine having Our Man
Jay
on.
Garrett, did you see the final?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I couldn't believe. I was like, I don't want to watch this Flash show unless they make the guy from the 90s, John Wesley ship, unless they make him Jay Garrett, and then they finally did.
Oh, how cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You spoiled it for you.
You just spoiled it for me and every other fucker watching who didn't get to see it.
Sorry. Fuck you.
But to have John Wesley Shipp as Jay Garrick, oh my gosh.
He looks like he just popped off the page.
Okay, well, to sum up, some final thoughts on superhero movies and how they're going.
Well, Marvel, everything's not going to doesn't go on forever. So hopefully they can write it as long as they can, the Marvel stuff, and hopefully DC can put it together. Sounds like Jeff Johns, who is in control more. He doesn't do everything right.
Yeah.
But he loves the characters and he knows the characters. Maybe there's some hope there.
Hopefully he knows enough to fire Zack Snyder.
Yes.
There will exactly. No, there will always be superhero films. I don't think they'll always be as popular as they are right now. So it's a good thing to just ride the wave while it's going. And like they'll always make westerns. Even though they don't make as many as they did back in the 60s and 50s. And so I think, like you said, put other people that understand the material in for DC, and who really have a passion for it.
It doesn't hurt getting like some of the best directors, like Kenneth Branagh. Mm-hmm. The genius behind putting him behind the first Thor movie.
Yeah.
It definitely has a big play in it. And just taking the material seriously.
It takes people who aren't afraid to really just step out of the boundaries and really kind of like see the worth of the comic books, and instead of trying to do their own. Well, we can't. We got to put them all in leather suits or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
Where they're selling, they're not selling a film, they're selling toys.
Toys.
Yeah.
And that's a directive from Warner Brothers.
I've always been, because like what we talked about earlier, X-Men's what got me into collecting comics in 1981. And one of the things that always appealed to me is because I was an outsider freak, as a kid. And the X-Men were that. Mm-hmm. They dealt using, sci-fi like Star Trek did as a way to tackle issues that were going on, because X-Men seriously tackled racism, the differences in that, and the problems with policies and politics that have to do with racism. And I've never felt that at all in one of the movies.
Yeah, I watched the most recent film, the apocalypse.
Yeah, I had free tickets. I was
Yeah.
thinking of seeing that tomorrow, but I was also thinking of just watching Captain America again.
Well, it's fine. There's a lot of good moments. There's a Quicksilver scene which is just awesome. You can watch it probably on Facebook. But after I watch one, I'm sorry, I don't remember the director's name. But every time
Bryan Singer.
Every time I see a Bryan Singer film, yeah, I watch it and I go, well, it was okay.
There's somebody who peaked early.
Yeah.
Because Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
fucked up a Superman movie too.
Yeah. Who's the guy who does all the explosions in the films?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
God.
But he reminds me of him.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for the insult, but it's just you watch the film and you go.
If you don't have character, if you don't have character direction, if you have no emotional contact, you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. That's the X-Men movies. That's the DC movies that have been made over the past few years. If they don't change, they are going to be left by the wayside, and Marvel is going to be the only one pumping out superhero movies.
Yeah, they'll give up eventually because they're not making money.
Money is what it's all about. Well, thank you guys.
Unfortunately.
Thanks for coming and joining me.
Thank you very much.
I have to end our segment,
Thank you.
we'll just have to go into another show. Shit.
There you go.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Witch Doctor Films, fucking Marvel films. You learned a lot this episode. Now go and apply it. Well, wasn't that a great episode? I mean, Matt and Elbert, just wonderful. Great conversation on film. We had some surprises happening and everything as Film Speak is going crazy. Ain't no doubt about it. Make sure you support local film. Get out there, find out what's going on in your area. If you want to get involved in film, you can definitely do that. There's so much going on in Dayton, Columbus, and Cincinnati, not just with Witch Doctor Films, but so many other small houses just trying to make great movies. So support local film, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Was that just the intro, or was that the intro and the outro?
That was the outro. Yeah.
I did an intro too, didn't I?
Yeah.
I've had too much caffeine. Okay. Next show.